Welcome to the Piece by Piece Autism Podcast with your hosts, Angie and Christy. They've worked 25 years to help Alec get the most out of life. Let them tell you how they're doing it.
Welcome back to Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. We're glad you're here. We are discussing all things autism. My son is 28 years old, and he has had ABA, therapy, OT, speech, PT for 26 years now. He was diagnosed at 2, and we are just discussing all aspects of it. Angie is his consultant, ABA consultant, and I am his mom. And so today we are jumping into something we have been a little bit worried about, and that is behavior, how to handle problem behaviors. The episode, When Problem Behavior is a Problem.
Which is always.
Always. It's always a problem. Sometimes it's a bigger problem than other times.
That is true.
But it's definitely always a problem.
Yeah.
So
I think there's just so much when it comes to behavior, and it's hard to break this down into sizable, digestible topics and know where to start. So we've sorted this out and know that anyone with an autistic child has dealt with problem behaviors, and Alec has been no different. So what were kind of the notable problem behaviors that you remember with Alec, those that you haven't completely blocked out?
Okay. I have blocked out some, but not all. Okay. Well, he was a headbanger, so self-injurious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's a skin picker, actually, to this day. He does loud vocals, even though he is nonverbal. He stomps. He pulls hair. Angie and I both very intimately understand about that one.
Lost a few strands in our day.
Yeah, we have. He will hit people. He has been known to hit people. He will go number 2 in his pants. He'll smear that. He'll throw that. He's not picky. He will do any of that. He will wet himself on purpose. And even to this day, he will use that sometimes to punish us, control the situation, whatever. Did I already say biting?
No,
I don't think I said
so.
biting.
But yeah,
I don't
that
think
was
I said
one.
biting. But yeah, he used to be a biter. He has not been a biter for a long time.
Yes, thank goodness. Some of those, I mean, are very troubling, scary. They're all exhausting parts of caring for an autistic child. And we have found in all these years that there were some behaviors that were due to extenuating circumstances, or behaviors would pop up and we would go, this is not our normal behaviors we've seen. It, we found, was due to a med change or physical pains that he was experiencing, whether that be a splinter on his foot or a paper cut on his hand,
Yeah.
So these days we do check-ins with him every day. Our team members do this when they come on shift, so several times a day, where we say, hey, dude, how's your body feeling today on a scale of 1 to 5? Just real simple. And then if we need to, if he's reporting that it's a 1 out of 5, we can say, okay, what's going on? What about your body is not functioning well? Well, my head hurts, or I've got a headache, or we can kind of get to the bottom of the problems. Luckily, these days, it's 5 out of 5 for body, 5 out of 5 for how his mind is. And we love to hear that. But
it's helped with having a lot of sunshine for him and getting out and doing walks. That we've really gotten a lot of mileage out of that, and eating more at home more and less out to eat. He's got a smaller waistline, so he's happy about that. We've also, with problem behaviors, I've always loved this method that we use in how to tackle the problem behaviors, because they can look like this big, overwhelming list, especially if he's hitting 4 or 5 of those at a time, and sometimes more. Then you have to do a ranking of the behavior so that okay, I'm going to have to tolerate maybe one of the lower level behaviors for a little while to be able to hit the bigger behaviors and really focus in on those and get those at a manageable point. And so we might have to tolerate him making loud noises because he's actually biting people. And we don't want him biting people. So we're going to focus on the biting, and we're going to tolerate the louder noises until we get the biting more manageable.
Great point. We did want to go in depth in this episode about tracking ABC data, we call it. You kind of have to know what problem behavior examples are and the functions, the 4 functions that problem behaviors fall under. So let's touch on those first. They are tangible, sensory, escape, and attention. So give us an example of tangible behavior, Christy.
On the tangibles, he would want to get access to drink and food by pushing past us to grab the food. He doesn't want to be bothered with us, so he pushes us out of the way. So we do have a lock on the pantry door for it. It's twofold. We have that. It ups his communication for him to ask for access to the pantry, and then we give him access to the pantry.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want him pushing through and impulsively grabbing food and grabbing drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, or his beads or any other items. I mean, tangible is more than just obviously access to food and drink, but we do combat that quite successfully with the lock on the door. Another is sensory. One of Alec's biggest sensories is water play. I've got an example to share later with this one, but we are sure to focus on proactively giving him appropriate access to water so that he's not finding or searching for an opportunity to play in the toilet or dump out his drink on the counter to splash it around, or however else we've seen him try and access that water play in a problem behavior kind of a way. Another is escape, whether that is getting out of a demand or avoiding a challenge placed on him. We've had in the past him complain of having stomach pain, which the health ones are so tricky because you want to support or honor or validate any troubling symptoms. But over time, we were able to track and know that this complaint, I'm doing in air quotes here, was this avoidance of actually sitting down and doing the demands that were placed on him. And then lastly is attention. Like Christy mentioned, we see this in Alec with his loud vocals. He'll flip the lights on and off, whether that's at home. He'll do this often in the car because he has quick access to it. And he's been known to chuck a soda can at a driver in the car.
Yes.
That's been done before. That one startled me big time the first time I saw that behavior. That car came to a quick halt.
You're not used to having a soda can thrown at your head, Angie, while you're trying to drive?
Not daily. But Alec really, really loves what kid doesn't? Loves the attention of those that he's with. And there was a time years ago, he was in his group home setting in Utah, and we saw a bunch of behaviors pop up. And our go-to for Alec is to do gross motor presence activities. We've talked in depth about presence activities. Our gross motor ones give Alec an opportunity to move his body, which we have found really allows him to burn off some of this steam or the angst that is built up. And when Alec really is aggressing, we will kind of stick it to him by having him climb some stairs and put in that additional effort. And so I was instructing the team while I was not there we're going to go to the stairs. We're going to place, 8 bean bags at the bottom of the basement. He's going to carry them up and place them into a bucket at the top of the stairs. And I'm thinking this has been proven over and over to really halt the behavior. And I kept getting phone calls, and as I was checking in, the behaviors were not going away, and it turned into a
Alec variety show.
Yeah, a variety show, but how quick can I get on a plane and go and see what was going on? So when I arrived in Utah and set eyes on what was going on, it was very quickly clear to me that the attention was what Alec was thriving on. And it seems like who wants to be walking stairs over and over again? Like that
He
just
doesn't really
sounds
mind
awful.
it.
But he does love to move his body. He loves a
He
good
does.
challenge. So
He
maybe
does.
maybe this one kicked us in the pants. But as I was watching some of his caretakers, they were really worked up by it.
Engaging with him.
We call it in our household, we say, "Oh, looks like your brother got your goat." Like that one really got you, but it's not phasing your brother, you know?
Yeah.
So Alec got their goat big time. And they were, stay away from me, don't touch me, keep your hands to yourself, keep doing the bean bags. I'm resetting this, all the engagement was happening over and over and over again.
And he
Alex
was
just
loving every minute.
smiling. So what did we do? We said, sit down on your phone right here and get on Instagram, wink, wink, and ignore him. And
let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing, yep. And lo and behold, as soon as that attention was removed, Alec had way less fun climbing those stairs and picking up those beanbags. And we really found that engagement, although seemed like a punisher to our team, it's not like they were chatting or having a good time. It still was that attention that Alec was getting something out of.
Exactly. Another way that he does the gross motor kind of movement and being able to have kind of that as a consequence is that we have a big bucket of the colorful balls that you get from a ball pit.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep one near the back door so that when the weather's nice, we can just pour out those balls throughout the backyard and he can go and collect them and put them back into the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what this process is. He typically doesn't complain about it. He's now learned to advocate for himself and say, I need a little help. I'm amped.
Mm-hmm.
And he's happy to move his body and be able to get that done.
Yeah.
Although it is a consequence.
Yeah.
So,
but we use them so proactively that
yeah.
he does man for them and knows, hey, this really does help pull me back into a good place.
Yeah,
So,
and that demeanor that the caretaker takes with him, the teacher, it really means a lot.
mm-hmm.
And I think, just we've talked about it before, mom voice, stern voice, being able to say, this is what you need to do right now, Alec, and give him very clear direction.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And one thing we've done the whole 26 years of therapy with him has been, if we say it, we mean it.
Yeah.
We never say anything that we don't mean. So when we say, you're going to pick up all of the balls and put them back in the bucket, he knows I'm picking up all of the balls and putting them in the bucket. That's what's happening.
Yeah. That follow through, I think, is
It's
easier
key.
said than done, but it is 100% key because you just have to hold firm and those expectations have to be set and they have to be met because we, again, like Alec being as brilliant as he is, we know he can meet the expectation.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think by holding his feet to the fire, he knows that we believe in him.
Yes.
And so it becomes more about like, you're just going to do what I say. It's not even coming from that place of negativity.
No, not at all.
But it is, I know what you're capable of. I know that you need some support here. I know that this level of support is what's going to help you. And hop to it, get to work, because we're going to come out stronger on the other end.
And we have a lot of respect for him, and he knows that.
Yeah.
He's learned that over the years. He knows that we're there for him and that we want the best for him, like you said.
Yeah. Let's talk about analyzing ABC data. We're going to kind of break it down and talk about what it is. We've got some examples to share. First of all, it answers this big ABA question, which is, what is this behavior getting the learner? There is some reason the behavior is happening. Again, we break it down into those 4 functions: tangible, sensory, escape, and attention. But what is this behavior getting the learner? that question can always be answered for whatever behavior you are seeing.
Yeah.
And it's just fine tuning and sorting through the weeds to figure that out. For Alec, we just have a very, very simple data sheet on his iPad, and the team fills this out anytime they notice or have to intervene with behavior. And it's important that your team members or family understands what makes it on the ABC data sheet. Alec's behavior has been gold for a long while.
Not perfect, but really good.
Well
Really good.
managed. Yes. But I visited and I said, guys, I see no ABC data.
Yay!
That's amazing.
Wow, that is
you,
perfect.
Yeah. So you are telling me that you never have to intervene with behavior. You never have to say, ooh, let me get you busy on something, or hey, we need to get outside and get on a walk, or dude, I need you to sit down and get this presence activity done. We're never having to instruct him or direct him in any way or redirect. Oh, no, we do that all the time.
Oh, wait a sec.
It's for very minor behaviors, or it's not really that big of a deal. But
it'll turn into a big deal.
if we're not, yes, if we're not keeping tabs on it, it can quickly turn into a big deal. And so that's where I say, just make sure that your expectations as to what goes on an ABC data sheet is very clearly outlined to those who are tracking the data.
Yes, that's
and
important.
This can be tracked from a caretaker, or these behaviors can be observed from somebody else. If you're trying to sort out behavior, it doesn't always have to be the person who is teaching the learner.
And even if you're not doing an official ABA program, this is a way to dip your toe in.
Yes.
This is really basic behavioral stuff here that we're telling you.
Yep.
And if you just do this and you analyze all the things that are bugging you throughout the day that your child is doing, it will really be eye-opening.
Yeah, it is enlightening. And I will say sometimes it's more enlightening as to what the teacher is maybe doing. It's not always the learner.
No.
And we'll get to that. So I do want to break down the ABC parts here real quick. So A, let's start with what that stands for. A is the antecedent, or what happened right before you saw the behavior. So you're kind of setting the stage here. Was a demand placed on the child? Go clean up your toys. Was there an environmental factor? You were outside, you were in a large crowd, we were at school, we were at home, where did this take place? And then were there any internal things that you can reasonably observe? Was the child hungry? Was it past lunchtime? Have they missed a nap? And then B, obviously, is our big behavior. What did the learner do? And this needs to be objective, observable, and measurable. We don't want something like, oh, Alec threw a tantrum. Okay.
Like, what does a tantrum mean?
What does it look like? And this is where more is more. We want to know the nitty gritty. What did the tantrum look like? Did he drop to the floor? Did he kick a chair? Did they cry? Were they slapping their hands together?
Or slapping you?
Or aggressing towards somebody? And then C is for consequence. What happened immediately after the behavior? Was there adult interaction? Was there attention given? A redirection? A removal of a demand? And this is where I say sometimes it's a little bit on us. Oh, go clean your toys. They throw a fit and you go, oh, never mind. Or let me help you. Or you can do it later. Were there peer responses? Were others involved? Were people onlooking and watching? Were there changes to the environment? Did you remove the child from an area that was problematic? Whatever came after the behavior is what we want to track here as a consequence.
This is not about punishment. We are just trying to figure out what is reinforcing the behavior, because we know in order for a behavior to be maintained, it has to have been reinforced in some way. And that's just the facts.
Yeah. I mean, again, it just goes back to that big ABA question. What is this behavior getting the learner?
Yeah, and I really wanted Angie to pull one of our examples of the ABC data out of Alec's data By the way, we keep data on an iPad
Mm-hmm.
and we don't do it through a particular data app like we used to.
Yeah,
I
we did
think we
try
used
that.
to use Catalyst, I think
Mm-hmm.
we used to. But now we just use the iPad with Google Sheets or
Yeah, I've just created all of my own Alex specific things that we would like to track. So
there you go.
it's less of general, school
Yeah,
learner. It's very specific
curriculum,
to
yeah.
Alec.
So don't be afraid just to open the iPad and make your
Yes.
own little data sheets. And this is also, we have some things that we track just on good old pen and paper.
Yes.
So you do not have to have an iPad to make this work. This can be done on the back of a receipt or an envelope if you want to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Open your notes app. It does not need to be
Yeah,
complicated.
there you go.
All right. So looking back at Alec's data, I pulled up his documents from just December of 2025. And this is what I read from one of his current team members. The antecedent: outside getting some fresh air on a neighborhood walk. Well, doesn't that
Nice.
sound lovely?
That sounds lovely. There's what could go wrong?
They set the stage for us. She's doing something that we've asked them to do, get him outside when it's lovely out, especially during these
Huh.
winter months. Everything's going to be lovely. Well, here comes the behavior. Alec pushed me out of the way, ran past, and stomped in a puddle. And so there it is. He had that impulse for the sensory water play that we have seen. This happens on occasion.
It does rear its ugly head.
Yes, it does. So the consequence that she laid out, we quickly walked home. So she was not leisure in their walk any longer. It was a quick clip home. And as soon as they walked in the door, he ran to the bathroom, stripped down. I'm sure shoes and socks and everything came off. He doesn't like that water, wet, cold on him.
Yeah.
And then she directed him to do bean bags. She even added in here, which I really appreciate always, is that it began at 11:45 and it was completed at 12 o'clock.
Oh, that is nice.
It gives me an idea of the duration and how quickly Alec was able to kind of pull himself
around.
together and turn it around.
Yeah, nice.
So we do love that these gross motors really place all the demand on Alec. It requires him to self-regulate, which is a really big ask for these individuals. But we've got this tool that says we've really laid the foundation of when you complete this task and you do it in a calm manner, not just when you pick up the beanbags, but when you pick the beanbags up without stomping, without yelling, without aggressing, then we'll be done and we can move on with our day. But that's on you. And again, like we mentioned, he is manding for these when he's feeling a little angst, and it allows him the opportunity to self-regulate without us having to really get in and do any of the heavy lifting.
And that's when you know it's working.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is
Absolutely.
really showing you that it's working when he's asking for it.
Yeah. So that's the gist of ABC data. It's not complicated, but it is absolutely effective when trying to sort out what the heck is going on here. And I think it requires you to be honest with your response. Am I the problem? Because we've had that. We've had that with our team members.
Yeah, that can be
and
hard.
we hate that.
Yeah, and even if they do the ABC data and it's not, they're not aware of it, that it's them. A lot of times when we just glance at it, we go, "Ooh, whoopsie."
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I've checked ABC data and it's
need
like,
to-
oh, this one individual is just, Alec is putting them through the ringer.
Yes.
And that tells us something. He's unhappy with this individual, or this person isn't holding his feet to the fire. He does not like that. So
he does love a stern mom voice. He does love to know that we are calm and in charge, even though he's become so independent and he enjoys his life and he knows that he's well respected and that he has a say in every day that he lives.
Yeah.
it's still, he gets a lot of comfort and security from knowing that we know how you can behave, and we would love for you to do that, and we're going to help you do that.
Yeah.
And he appreciates that. And then everyone's happier.
If your child is having problem behaviors that are a problem, right? Then we encourage you to track the ABC data and find and implement interventions that will support them in self-regulating their behaviors, because we have really found a lot of freedom for Alec in doing so.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us today. That's a wrap for our episode of Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. We hope you're loving the conversations as much as we are. Give us a follow and share the show. We would love your help in spreading the word, because every piece of the story matters. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. That's PIECE, Piece by Piece Autism Podcast. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.